So there's a lot of people starting out lure fishing. Maybe it's this year, maybe you've just started last year, and there's some things that you want to know. We're going to go through what you need to look for to find the ultimate fishing spot. We're going to go through what you need to get started lure fishing. We're going to go through the lures that you need, and then we're going to ultimately go out. We're going to put it to use, and we're going to go out and we're going to check out some fishing. All right, guys, I'm gonna show you the kind of stuff that you need to look for when you're looking for bass marks, man. On days like today, when the tide is way out, way out, these are what we like to call wreck days. So we've got the rods, we've got all the gear, we've got everything. Tide will be coming in. High tide today is at about 2-ish. So at about 12, we'll be able to get the rods out, have a couple of chucks. But right now, we're on a wreck session. Low tide, remember low tide is the best time to go and find stuff. So right now we're gonna walk down the trail. I'm with the Jimster. He doesn't like to be on camera, but he's on camera now. When we get down there, I will I'll show you what to look for, man. And hopefully this afternoon when the tide comes in, might be able to get a couple fish out of it. On a low tide, you can see all of this stuff. All these little gullies and stuff. You can see all these on a low tide. That's why low tide is best to come and do a wreck session. But you have to remember, it's low tide now, and you have to watch the tides, because this little spot right here, if you're out here for too long, if that water comes in, that's more than chest deep. So you have to keep that in mind as well when you're looking. It's just starting to flood now, isn't it?
It is. 8:30 was low.
Yeah. What time is it now?
It is 9:30.
Okay.
9:30.
So we're an hour. Low tide was 8:30. We're an hour into the low tide, so we still got plenty of time. I'll tell you what, Google Earth is your best friend. And I'm really glad that Google Earth is free. Because if it wasn't, I would have no money whatsoever. Go on Google Earth, find yourself somewhere that you're thinking about, zoom in, man, find all the gullies, and then get down there like we are today and check it out. So, right, I'm gonna go and we're gonna walk out that way and see what's out there, man.
On some occasions, if we've got an edge like that and we're flicking out, and they were talking about it a lot in fly videos, taking almost kind of casting here. Look at all that activity there. Bait fish. But almost kind of casting from here out, then there, then moving down.
So you're not spooking them?
Yeah.
This is perfect. There's got to be some fish in there, man. What you're looking for on a low is like these weed beds, man. Like this bubble weed. This is what you're looking for. When it's low, it's laying down. But once you get some water on it, this will all float. This will all float. It'll stand up. I mean, look at that. It'll stand up just like that, flare out, and that's hiding spots for bass, man. And they sit in there and they wait for prey to come by and just bang. I want to say about structure. It's this kind of stuff that you're looking for here. You want to find structure and you want to find hiding spots. These doesn't look like much, but that is a hiding spot for a bass.
They're about that long and you can see a bit of a shimmer. I don't know if there will be, there's not a bass in there at the moment because otherwise they just all scatter off.
Yeah.
But you can see them shimming around down here as well.
There's a big old blow up right there. I just spooked it. Like I was saying, when you get down to a spot and you think, even if you have a little bit of a thought, you've done your wreck and you think there's fish there, have a couple chucks, man. Why not? What do you have to lose? You've got absolutely nothing to lose and everything to gain. Because to be fair, there might be a monster sitting in there waiting for your lure, man.
There's weed floating in these shallows here, and there's small little sprats or bait fish that are almost like trying to hide behind this little bit of weed that's floating. And it's almost like the eyesight on a fish if you hide behind a pole and the pole is here, the back of the body's all the way out. But they're all floating. They're all swimming around this tiny little bit of weed. And it's interesting to see a fish in cover that actually is not necessarily in cover. Oh, dude, you get out on the edges of this stuff.
This is the kind of stuff that you don't see when the water's in.
No.
My waders are sticking to my legs right now, man.
Yeah, got a hot couple of legs.
I'm really glad. I was thinking about wearing a hoodie. I'm glad I didn't do that.
I haven't got my thermals on this time.
So in here would be something mullet colored.
And I think only maybe 3 inch.
Something about that size.
Yeah, I'd agree.
Yeah?
Soft plastic.
Soft plastic.
With a real shimmer on it.
In these little gullies, because when this floods, then you've got the bass coming up here looking for the bait fish. And that's something you wouldn't have seen, or we wouldn't have seen if there was any water in here at all. I'm chucking a lure out here, dude. Totally am. What time are we at? You say 11:30 now?
We are at 11 o'clock.
11 o'clock. So what we're gonna do now is, there's another spot. It's just low enough. We're gonna go and check that bit out. And hopefully,
Flick a lure, at least get a bait in the water.
yeah, at least get a bait in the water. Maybe even a fish, but you never know. So remember, man, come down at low tide. Check it out. Come down with the kids, come down with a dog, come down with a wife, have a picnic. So this is what I want you to remember when you go out scoping spots. You want to look for structure, like these little rocks, this bubbleweed. See in the water how it raises and creates it's like a mushroom under there, man. Movement in the water is good. It moves around, little particles of stuff. That's what they eat. So you need it to move around a bit. If there was no wind out here, it would be flat calm, not much movement. So you would have to make movement with your lure to attract them. There's a choke point. What a choke point is, there's kind of like, right out in front, there's kind of like a raised bit. And then there's a bit of water and it comes up to the shore. And around there, when the tide's coming in or when it's going out, that should create current. Basically, what the fish are thinking is, I'm gonna sit right here because I don't have to do anything. The tide's doing everything for me and it's pushing the food into my mouth. So if you can, look for all these choke points, all this business, the weed beds.
Back edge of weed beds as well.
Huh?
Back edge of weed beds.
Yeah. Yeah. The back edge of the weed bed. You've got a weed bed here, and there's a little bit more out there. If you get the back edge of that weed bed, you've got loads of fish sitting right there, especially on an incoming tide. Because again, that incoming tide is pushing all of the bait, all of the food for the fish. It's just pushing it right into their mouth. So they can sit into those bushes and they don't have to do anything. They just open their mouth. Another thing you want to look for is tidal flow. Any type of movement in the water. I don't think, you can't see it like I can here, but right out, I don't know, about 40 yards, that tide starts moving. And that's the kind of stuff, you want to look for that kind of stuff, because that's where the fish are sitting. They're just sitting, waiting. Fish aren't, they're, you know, they don't go out looking for it. They would rather wait for the food to come to them. Like what Jimmy said, the least bit of energy a fish can exert, the better. Any tidal flows, any structure where they can hide, weed beds, all that kind of stuff. That's what you need to look for when you go out and you want to get in on the bass. Go out at low tide, check Google Maps, check Google Earth, Ask around. There are people that will help. There's some that don't, but there are people that will help. If you were a bass, where would you hide? Pretty basically, you gotta be the fish, man. Number one tip is probably take your time. Take a day, scout one day, go out to the spot the next week. Or if you've got time, scout it at low tide, go and have some lunch, and come back on the flood, man. Try all sorts of things. If at first you don't succeed, try it again. If a white lure is not working, try a blue one. If a blue one's not working, try a red one. If a floating lure is not working, try a soft plastic. If a soft plastic isn't working, try a metal. I mean, I can't tell you how many times when you go lure fishing for bass, man, you're gonna get a hell of a lot more blanks than you probably will fish. But if you go out and you do your reconnaissance and you catch fish in the spot that you scoped out, it's the most rewarding thing ever. So now that you've got everything down for what to look for, I can't stress enough, in the winter times, January, February, when the fishing is slow, I'm not saying when the fishing is not there, because they are still there, but when it's slow, get out to your places at low tide and go find marks just like we've seen. Now in this next part, we are gonna look at what kind of kit you need. Lure fishing for bass is one of the most exhilarating things you will ever do. Catching a 5-pound bass on a lure is something else. I mean, the rush of it is unbelievable. You got to get out and do it. If you're wanting to start, if you've already got some stuff and you want to upgrade, I'm going to show you what I use when I get out on the bass. Before we start, I just want to let you know the stuff that I've upgraded over a long period of time. It doesn't have to cost much for you to go out and get some stuff and get out there lure fishing. The first thing you're gonna need is a rod. Now, the rod that I have is a Major Craft Sea Bass Custom. You don't have to go out and get anything major. You don't have to spend 400, 500, 600 pounds to get anything. But Shimano's got some really good entry-level rods that you can use. Daiwa's got some, Shakespeare's got some. You don't need anything absolutely special. I have upgraded over time. Like I said, the rod that I'm using is a Major Craft Sea Bass Custom. It's an 8-foot rod. You want something between 8 foot and 9 foot. I would say 9 foot at a push. I feel the 8-foot rod is super for the South Coast where I'm fishing at. A 9-foot rod gets the lure out a little bit further, but I like the 8-foot. Next thing you're gonna want is your reel. The one that I have is a Penn Slammer 3, and again, you don't have to, this is an upgrade. You can get a good reel for 30, 40 pounds. I would get a reel in the no bigger than a 4,000 size. A 3,000, depending on the make, because this is a 3,000 and it's the same size as a Shimano 4,000. So depending on the make, the sizes may differ just a little bit, but I wouldn't go above a 4,000 size reel. The next thing you're gonna need is some braid. My go-to is Berkley Whiplash. Is it expensive? It's a little bit expensive. I think it's about 29 pounds per spool. I use the 24 pound, but it's got a diameter of 0.06. You want the smallest diameter that you can get with the heaviest breaking strain. There's a lot of other braids out there that are cheaper and they work just as good, but make sure you get at least the lightest breaking strain. I would go would probably be about 15 pound. But try and make sure that your diameter is as low as you can get it. On the end of your braid, you're going to need a leader. You don't have to use a leader. I've got my braid. This is my braid. And then I've knotted it. That's a ugly, ugly knot. And then I've got about a 2 to 3 foot fluorocarbon leader. The fluorocarbon that I'm using at the moment is the Yuki Seiko It's made by Seagar. It's 100% fluorocarbon. This is the soft fluorocarbon, and it's really pliable. It's a 12-pound breaking strain. It helps with abrasion resistance. And fluorocarbon, when that is in the water, it's literally invisible. So it gives play to your lures and they look as natural as possible. The next thing you're gonna need is something to carry all this stuff in. I can't express enough, you don't have to go out and buy the most expensive thing. The bag that I use is a Snoby sling bag. This is probably the best investment other than my fishing rod that I have made. It holds everything and it just flicks on like so. It's comfortable. You can fish with it all day, fully loaded. It's got a little pocket for your snips. It's got a little mesh bit for drinks or whatever you want to put in there. It's got a couple D-loops for your nets, for anything you want to hang off of there, pliers, extra line. It's got a big pocket here. These unclip and it unfolds all the way down. So when you're out in the water, you've kind of got like a shelf to do all your stuff on. You've got a work station. It's got another side pocket, a little mesh pocket. It's also got two mesh pockets on the inside. So I hold extra hooks in mine. I put my car keys in there, my phone in there. Is it waterproof? It's not waterproof. But in most cases, some people do. I don't wade further than my chest. The reason I don't do that is because I don't want my waders to fill up and sink. It holds an awful lot. So if you're gonna get anything of any expense, 50, 60 quid, I highly recommend the Snoby sling bag. Next thing you're gonna need is some waders. I've opted for the Taman sock waders. They're all one piece, they're breathable. I've only opted for these ones because I move around a lot. Man, those, not neoprene, PVC ones, they get hot in the summertime if you're moving around. And again, there are cheaper options. Right, the next thing I recommend is get yourself some snips. These are brilliant. They are a godsend and it makes life a lot easier when you're out. They've got split ring. This little point here is for your split rings and it makes it a heck of a lot easier to change hooks if you need to. They've also got like a little pair of plier things if you want to clamp down a split shot or whatever for a Carolina rig or a Texas rig. It's got braid scissors on them. These are braid scissors. And when you're out in the field and you're waist deep in water, it makes everything so much easier just to do it out in the water. And you don't have to come back into shore and you can get fishing just quickly, man. And that's what you want. You want to be out there with the fish quick. These are a godsend. Get yourself some polarized glasses. These, I'm telling you, when the sun's out, like today, like right now, the sun doesn't even have to be out. It can be overcast, but if you're standing out there in the water, the glare from the water, the reflection from the water, it does a number on your eyes. Polarized glasses takes all that glare away. It brings everything out, and they really help if you're sight fishing because it takes the glare away and you can see basically through the water. You can pay lots of money for polarized glasses, but you don't have to. These are the Savage Gear polarized glasses, and I think I paid a tenner for them. So get yourself polarized glasses. You'll thank me later. So you're gonna need to get some lures, which we'll get to in a minute, but you're gonna need something to carry all your lures in. This one has got sections. So I've got a home for everything. I've got hard lures on one side and my soft plastics on the other. So I'd recommend getting something big enough. I mean, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I've got 14 little sections. So I recommend getting yourself a case that is double-sided. That way you can put soft plastics on one side and your hard lures on the other side. That's the way I like it. You can get 2 boxes if you want that are smaller. 2 boxes will fit snugly in this Snowbee bag. Everything I'm gonna need for a session is in this box, and you've got everything, man. You've got your bag, you've got your glasses, you've got your rod, your reel, your snips, your case for your lures. You've got an extra spool of fluorocarbon that goes in your bag. You've got some extra braid that goes in your bag. Carry all that stuff with you. Almost forgot one thing. Take with you extra quick change clips. I use the breakaway ones because I think they're a lot easier. Oh, there's a vast array of clips. HTO do some. They're a little bit cheaper. I like the breakaway ones. That's what I like. That's it, really. I mean, you're gonna need your rod, 7 to 35 gram at least. A reel, no bigger than a 4,000. You've got your lure case, fluorocarbon, braid, polarized glasses, snips. Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. If you're gonna go out lure fishing, what are you gonna need? You're gonna need lures. There are so many lures. If you walk into a tackle shop and you see the wall of lures, it's overwhelming. Don't be afraid to ask the guys behind the counter, what is it you need? You don't have to get anything expensive. There are lots of lures that are on the cheaper spectrum that will do the job perfectly. There are topwater lures, shallow diving lures, deep diving lures, metal lures, soft plastic lures. The ones that I use the most and that I can recommend is get yourself a couple topwater lures. This is the Pachinko 100. It's, what is it, 4 or 5 inches long. Savage Gear have the Panic Prey. It's the same thing, same design, same everything. My other go-to is the Fishious S Petite. That's topwater as well. Then you've got a shallow diver. These will go just under the surface, and depending on your retrieve rate will determine how deep it goes. The way that you can tell a shallow diver is the topwater doesn't have a lip. The shallow diver's got that little lip on it, and when you retrieve it, it'll pull down into the water just under the surface. Depending on the retrieval speed, depends how deep you go. The next type of lure you can use are soft plastic lures. These lures are for deeper in the water column, or you bounce them off the bottom. You don't have to spend lots of money. Savage Gear have a brilliant range of affordable lures. This one here is the Fish Black Minnow. This swimming action in the water is just like a little minnow, an injured bait fish. And that's what the bass are after. We've got the Keitech Easy Shiners. This is a minnow lure again. Absolutely brilliant lure. The Megabass Spindle Worms. This mimics a minnow again. I think a lot of the soft plastic lures are minnow mimickers. They mimic minnows. And they have paddle tails. And this will go in the water, it'll flutter in the water, and it'll cause a little bit of vibration. It'll move the water around it and hopefully attract bass. And then you've got kind of like worm looking ones. This is a Do Live stick. Get yourself a top water, get yourself a shallow diver, and a range of soft plastics, and you are set to get out on the water and get some bass, man. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's hard work, but you get out what you put into it. If you put in the hours and you put in the miles, it's not going to be an issue, and it's fun, man. It's better than sitting in front of the TV. But now we got that part out of the way, I'm gonna show you what lures that I use, and man, they catch fish. You don't have to use these ones. These are only my suggestions, but they catch fish. I'm gonna run through some of the lures that I keep in my boxes that I take with me on every single session, and in my opinion, you should have these in your box as well. We're gonna start with the one that I was using this morning. This is a Pachinko 100 millimeter, and the color of it is 500G. It's brown on top, you got a pink in the middle, and it's got a white belly. This thing casts like a bullet, and it catches fish. Man, I mean, A lot of the fish that I've had this year have been on that lure. They come in 3 or 4 different sizes. I think there's an 85 millimeter. You've got the 100 millimeter. You can get the 125, and I think it's 140 millimeter. The 125 is okay for around the south coast where I fish. The 140 I think is a little bit big. The Pachinko 100 is absolutely perfect. I've had little fish, big fish, medium fish on this lure right here. The next one that I want to talk about, I've only found this year, and it is a silent salt skimmer from IMA Lures. This one is chartreuse. I'll just call it yellow. And white belly. It's yellow, white, and it's got an orange belly. I've only started using the silent salt skimmer this year, and it's an amazing lure. I've had some pretty awesome fish on this lure. It is 110 millimeters. The shape of it, when you go out, if you look at the bait fish, they're long. Bait fish are like this shape. They're not short, they're not stubby, they're long. So this profile of this lure is absolutely perfect. It's long like a bait fish, it's shaped like a bait fish, and it swims absolutely like an injured bait fish. You've got the walk the dog action, and as you're walking the dog, it also bobs up and down, up and down, up and down. I would say the only thing with this lure, if you're fishing a lot of weed and you're fishing shallow water, because it's so long, when it sits in the water, it'll sit like that. And a lot of the time that bottom hook, you'll catch it on weed, it'll fill up with weed. That changes the action of the lure. It won't walk the dog properly, it gets really heavy, and it bogs down. I'm not saying that it's a bad lure, because it is a very, very good lure. Remember IMA Lures, silent salt skimmer, it'll catch you fish. Another lure that I use that you should have in your box is an IMA Chappie. This is the IMA Chappie 100. The color is something ammo. It kind of looks like the 500G. This is the 100 millimeter. I think it's a little bit too big for where I fish. I use the Chappie 80. Let me see if I can grab it here. Please excuse the hook rash. It has been used quite often because it catches fish. I can't remember what this color is called, but it's black on the top. It's got your silver. I mean, this 100% looks like an injured bait fish. And when you're using smaller lures, if I'm using a Patch 100 and that's not working, I'll drop down to the Chappie 80. It seems to entice a bit more fish, man. I mean, my favorite lure of all time this year, and I've started using this lure about 3 years ago. It didn't pop on to the UK market and take off until just recently. And that, my friends, is the Fish Assess Petite. If you don't have one of these in your box, get one in your box and get one in there now. There's a whole bunch of colors. This one's a hot belly glass. It's kind of the body's kind of see-through, and it's got the little orange bit right under the chin. That attracts fish. Why does it? I don't know, but it does. The swimming action on these is phenomenal. You can twitch the lure quickly and it side to side like so. You can twitch it slower and it goes big, giant arc. You can even get it to dive. You can get it to pop. Just get one or 10. They come in loads of colors. Like I said, this is hot belly glass. The mullet pattern. You've got another favorite of mine, white and flash. My absolute go-to 100% is the Flashy Shad, Tennessee Shad. I haven't used this much just because it's beautiful. That is a pretty lure. They come in 3 different sizes. So where is she? You've got the 110, the 95, and I believe they also come in a 70. Now we're gonna go to soft plastics. I've never really been a soft plastic kind of guy, and I think it's just I think it's only because I couldn't get to grips with them. But once you get to grips with the soft plastic, it's so much fun and it attracts so much fish. One that I started using this year is the Fish's Mojo Crawl. Look at the appendages on that, man. I mean, they're just, oh, it's lovely. The only thing I don't like about this lure is that it casts like a paper bag because of all the appendages and stuff. So it's a short range lure. If you're gonna cast into 2-3 feet of water right in front of you, then fine. I mean, it'll cast, but it's not gonna cast like a patch or an Espetite. This is a short range lure. Cast it out, plops in the water. The Cheb, I like to rig it on a 4-0 weedless hook. It's soft, so if you get hit, that is just, I mean, you got a hook set. These pikes coming up, man, those are gonna be pike magnets. I'm not a fan, like I was saying, of soft plastic lures because I don't know how to work them. The Fish's Espetite Soft Shad has changed my whole entire outlook on soft plastic lure fishing. These little ridges on the tail just move the water. They make movement. I don't know how else to say it. They make movement in the water and they attract fish. The swimming action on them, that, if I didn't know any better, would be a minnow. I mean, check out the swimming action on these things. Even the little bait fish are following it. It's been in the water for about 10 seconds so I can make this video and it's already attracting fish, man. This is the last one I'm going to talk about for right now, a 16 gram wobbly. Preferably this color. I can't tell you what this color is because I forget the name of it. This thing will cast a mile. It's tiny. It's only a little guy, 16 grams, but it casts like a bullet and it catches fish. The best way I found to use this one is you cast it out. As soon as it hits the water, lift your rod tip up, let your rod tip down, the sink and draw method. 9 times out of 10, the fish will hit this lure on the drop. So in my opinion, those are the lures that everyone should have in their box. If you want to catch more fish, Chappie, wobbly, salt skimmer, Espetite, Fish's Soft Shad, don't forget a Chappie AT, don't forget an Espetite, don't forget a wobbly, and a Pachinko 100. Lure fishing does not have to be a minefield. It doesn't have to be confusing. Go out, get yourself soft plastic, topwater lure, and maybe a medium diving lure and a sinking lure. That's all you need, man. Get out there and go fishing. Let's put all those things together now. What to look for in a mark. All the kit that you need, or again, that's a suggestion on my part. You can have any variation of that. You can spend as much money as you want or as little money as you want. It's going to work. Then we saw what lures I use that I know catch fish. So now we're going to put it all together and we're going to go out on a session. Hope you enjoy it. I am on a full-on mission. I've been out for 2 sessions and 2 blanks. I'm gonna have a nice, relaxing fish in an old spot. Man, I haven't fished here in donkey's years, man. You can see it's a full-on easterly wind, dude. Like, full-on. There's some birds working out here. I don't know if you can see it, but you've got the water right next to the bladderwrack. And then you've also got some water beyond that. And in that water, you can see the flow happening. And that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for some flow. I'm looking for some bass. I am on a mission. On a freaking mission. I'm gonna get the Espetite white and flash out first thing. Come on. Come on, babies. What a tight number. Oh, I'm hit already. I'm in. Yes. I'm in already. White and flash, dude. Didn't even touch the surface and it's in. Boom. Yes. That's what I'm talking about. Bending the rod right there, dude. All right. But the white and flash doing business, dude. Boom. Bam. Yes. We got to bend in the rod as a little guy, but we got to bend in the rod, man. Boom. That's what I'm talking about. Yes. Oh, there's a little jump again on the white and flash. Fish assist fatigue, dude. Oh, and again. Oh, and again. Boom. Oh. Some nice fish around here, dude. There we go. And again. Boom. Fish assist fatigue, white and flash on the money, dude. Little greedy booger. Just a little guy, look at that. Come on, fish. I know there's some nice babies out here, man. Yes. With a poopy cast. But the poopy ones do the best. Don't be afraid to pause this lure, man, especially when the water surface is like this and it's moving, because that water surface will take the lure, even if it's on a pause, and make it go like that and flash. There we go again, and hit again. They want it, man. They must be small because they're not committing at all. I mean, I can see them tail slapping right in front of me. Slappy lap, slap lap. Right, come on, babies. Pause. Oh, I felt it. I felt it. There you go, a little small guy. Jeez, look at it. The lure's almost as big as this one, man. Try and get out a little bit deeper, see if there's any bigger ones out this way. There's just fish everywhere. I am loving it, dude. Just even the small ones, little bend in the rod after you blanked for a few times. It's beautiful. I want to get right out into that flow. I can see the flow happening. Oh, yes, that's where I want it. Oh, that's where I want it right there. Oh, that was a nice fish. And I'm in. I didn't think I was in. It was a nicer fish than the other ones I've been getting. Oh, definitely did. And they're boiling everywhere right here, dude. Made again, yes. That was on the pause, dude. That was on the pause. Right, there's what I'm on about right now. They've all been about this size, but still. Oh man, that is so nice. Yes! Back in an old spot, dude, and it is banging right now, dude. It is banging, yes! Oh, yes! That's a nice fish. Yes! That's a better fish right there, dude. That is a better fish. Come on, baby. Yes, man. Yeah. All right. That, my friends, is what I'm talking about. Right there. That is awesome. Keep on trucking. I was getting discouraged, man. 2 sessions out, and I was like, this sucks. Where's all the fish gone? My lure catching fish ability was lacking. You just gotta keep searching. And you gotta keep going. It's a passion, man. It is a passion. Whew. God, I love it. Let's see if we can get some more out, dude. Whoo-wee. Lovely. I might get the wobbly out because that little sucker will go a little bit further. Yes, it's beautiful to get topwater smashed. Absolutely, it's just beautiful. But I do want to try this wobbly. Whoa, yeah, that was a nice hit. Boom, on the white and flash again. And that was a nice hit, dude. That's a nice fish. That's a nice fish. Boom. Yes. Bam. All right. My confidence is restored, man. Woohoo. Fish is petite, white and flash. Boom, 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 boom. Yes, on it. Just on it. Oh, yeah. This petite excites him, man. Whew. Gosh, I love it. Getting hit again by little ones. No, that was a nice smash. There we go again. Boom. Oh, man. Oh, yes, dude. Just working the freaking S-petite. Absolutely working the white and flash. Boom. I want to put a different color on, dude, but the white and flash is working good because there's another hit. Man. And just because the birds aren't working doesn't mean stop. I mean, when they're out there working, yeah, follow them. But, I mean, seriously, dude, you don't really have to. Find yourself some flow, pause. Oh, there we go. There we go. Boom, yes. Not a bad sized fish, dude. I mean, seagulls after me there. Oh, there we go. Is that in? I don't know if that's in or if that's a piece of weed. Ah, might as well have been a piece of weed. One more smash, and then I'll try the wobbly a couple times. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Here we go. We got some life over here. Oh, yeah. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Boom. Oh, yes, that's a nice pull right there, dude. Come on, baby, where you at? Getting some weeds. Oh, he did. He tried to get down in the weed. There he is. There he is. Hello, buddy. Wow. That's a nice one. There we go, buddy. There we go. Oh, that was a good hit. On the pause. Close in as well, dude. Nice little tail slap on that one. Pow! Yes! Oh, I love it. Dude, I love it. I cannot tell you. Unless you get out here and experience it, dude. It's unreal. It's just unreal. Oh, how much do I love this? A lot. Just give it a couple twitches, pop, pop, and leave it there for a second. Whoa, that was crazy. Whoa. Whoa, dude, that was nuts, man. Holy schmoses. Whew. That was crazy stuff, dude. That was crazy stuff. I don't even need the wobbly on today, I don't think. They're all coming off the top. All right, we're getting some line pull off that guy. It's actually a proper fish, I think. He's a feisty one. That's for sure. White and flash today, boys and girls. Boom! Whoa! That was crazy. From underneath. Holy feisty little booger, that one. Again, that's 2 in a row, dude. Oh, that's a nice fish, man. Oh, he took my lure and everything. He took my lure and everything. Oh, no, no. That was a nice fish, dude, and he's taking my freaking white and flash, you booger. Right, I'm gonna put hot belly glass on now. Actually, you know what? I think I might go mullet. I'm gonna go mullet pattern right now. I want my lure back. Oh, you sucker, man. I was doing well on the white and flash. Yeah, little booger took it. Oh, there we go again. He's off. He is off. All right. Hot belly glass, please don't come off this time. Please. It's actually not a really big fish. It's just... he wanted it. Would have been cool if it was my lure in his mouth. Tail slap again, dude. Hot belly glass doing a number. Yeah. Boom. Baby. Yes. Oh, and he took it. He took it on the little bounce. I was just trying to see where my lure was and he took it, dude. All right, I'm gonna get the wobbly on. And see if we can get out there a little bit further. On the wobbly. Boom. Look at that, dude. On the fish is wobbly even. Boom, they're on it. All right, with this wobbly, it is a very easy retrieve. It goes in the water and it's a straight retrieve. And it'll wobble side to side. And you see, second cast, boom, I was in, dude. I'm on the wobbly again. Oh, he just came off, you little sucker. One more of these, and 10 more on the top. Oof. Look at that. Got him. That was like on the drop. That's a nice fish. Don't come up, don't come up. Whoa! Whoa, yeah! That was a nice run. Yes! Mission completed. The Fisher's Petite, white and flash, Fisher's Petite, hot belly glass, and the wobbly. It just hammered them this morning, man. I had 2 blank sessions and I was getting really discouraged, man. This easterly wind has put some movement on the surface of the water, and those Espetites, when they just sit there and they wait and shine in the water, man, it's unbelievable. You can cast it out, couple twitches, and just let it sit there and they'll just come for it, man. It's about exciting. Just getting into that lateral line, man. Just, gosh darn it. It is awesome. I can't explain it, man. You gotta get out and you gotta do it. Get your butts down to the water and get some lures out, man. Bam!